It's been a while since I showed off my Omnis and other collected editions. So let's get part two right now. Before we start this video, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. It definitely goes a long way in helping the channel out, and it is greatly appreciated. So with that being said, let's get into this Omni collected editions haul. If you remember, probably about 5 months ago or so, I made a video where I was kind of, showing off collected editions, mainly omnibuses and stuff like that I picked up recently or fairly recently at that time. And I've kind of been wanting to do this again. So without further ado, let's move on and let's take a look at these. Now, these are not going to be all of the books that I have picked up, but these are more so the books that I am highlighting that I picked up, the ones that I really enjoy the most, and I'm just really looking forward to reading. In some cases, I haven't read yet. So this first set of books are going to be indie books, and a couple of these I literally got delivered in the mail today, as the day that I'm filming this. So this first one is a Kickstarter, and it's Planet of a Thousand Moons, and this is from an indie company or an indie creator with his publishing name, Automation Press, by Michael S. Bracco. Um, yeah. So spaghettikiss.com is the website. So with this though, I have recently backed this on Kickstarter. And let me just go ahead and take these out of the package. First of all, little bookmark. So there's a QR code. So go ahead and check him out. He's got some other good stuff. I picked up some things from him before at Heroes Con. He's based out of Baltimore, and he really kind of stays in that mid-Atlantic region as far as going to different cons. But anyway, Planet of a Thousand Moons. So yeah, that's the back. I backed this because when I met him, he was a really cool guy, man. He's really like genuine, and he has a certain level of excitement when it comes to comic books and creating comic books. But just to give you an idea of some of the art on the inside, I have not read this yet, obviously, because I just literally got it today, like from a few hours ago from when I got home. So yeah, a little bit more of the art. I love this art style. It's it's really cool. And so what he does too, Michael Bracco, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. But what he does too, though, is in each book that you purchase from him, at least at a con, and through this Kickstarter as well, he has a space inside of each book where it leaves him space to do uh, a drawing inside, and he signs it. So each book with the Kickstarter, he did this sketch in each book that was purchased through his Kickstarter. So yeah, pretty cool, man. And the character from this story, but Planet of a Thousand Moons, and this was an add-on that I got, but Adam Rec, and I believe this is related to Planet of a Thousand Moons. Um, yeah. So Adam Rec, like I said, I think this is related, or it might not be. I'm not sure. But this did look cool though when I was looking at this as an add-on. There's the back. Uh, yeah. So, yeah. really cool. And this book is actually a little thicker than Planet of a Thousand Moons. I don't know how. Yeah, you can tell a little bit right there. Yeah, a little bit thicker, but pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. And also this little print that it also came with. I can't remember if this was a stretch goal or if it was an add-on. I can't remember exactly, but pretty cool little print. So yeah, that is from spaghettikiss.com from him. Now this book right here, I did not. I actually picked this up a few years ago, so this doesn't count. But the only reason I'm showing it is because this is volume one of Yi Sun Shin, Warrior and Defender. So it's the hardcover from Henri Campan, who is the writer of this book. So I picked that up a few years ago at Heroes Con when he was there, but this year he was there again, and I was finally able to pick up volume two this year at Heroes Con. Yi Sun Shin, Fallen Avenger, and he of course signed it, so that's volume two. So yeah, now you can see right here what this is. Now, I feel like I feel like I don't remember if I showed this off before, but Ed Piskor. We all know he had passed away tragically, and it's still upsetting to be honest to me. But tragically, last year he passed away, and I was really actually wanting this for a while, even before his unfortunate passing. Um, but I just, for different reasons, I had not been able to get my hands on it. But I was determined. After his passing, I was definitely determined. Um, and I got it. So, Hip Hop Family Tree, the Omnibus. And this is, I mean, I love Ed Piskor, man. I miss him. It's just tragic, man. And if you're a fan of hip hop, which for me growing up, in the 80s and then the 90s, I remember hip hop and rap being a whole lot different than it is now. I'm not a fan of how it is now. But back in those days, man, I was a huge fan. And he touches a lot of stuff in this book. Um, but this is kind of like going through the history of hip hop and things like that. And then his artwork and everything on top of it. And, rap artists that were involved in this as well. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So glad to have this in my collection. Hip Hop Family Tree Omnibus. Pretty awesome. But this is a little bit more sentimental. Uh, Switchblade Shorties. Just received this in the mail to date as well. Um, Now, to my knowledge, this is. Let me go ahead and rearrange this real quick. But this is some of his very last work before he passed away. I believe that's what I had seen. Um, but in here also came with uh, about the author. Now there's a big page in here too, so it just kind of gives like his stats and stuff, like where he was born, his age, stuff like that. Um, yeah, yeah, just different things about him. But what I like too on the back is it was a personalized note. Thank you for your support. Enjoy, heart, the Piscor family on the back. So that means a lot. That means a lot to me because, to be honest, the way he tragically passed away, it kind of hurt me a little bit personally, and it was just it was tough on me, and I didn't really let it show to anybody, but it really was. And then he also gave a card or like a little flyer for uh, Eddie P Comic Con 25, which last year was the inaugural one, so this is the second one. Unfortunately, I can't make it this year because I already have stuff going on around that time, which is September 13th and 14th. Yeah, so look it up if you can make it. Definitely go and support. And it's in his hometown of Pittsburgh. Um, yeah, well, I guess it's in Pitt or right outside of Pittsburgh, West Mifflin, PA. Not sure exactly. I'm assuming that's right outside of Pittsburgh where he was from. But yeah, um, support, man. Support Eddie P, the Ed Piscor family, if you can. And also, one thing I love about this book is in the beginning, there is, I should have done a overhead, like a top down of this, but let's see. Rob Liefeld wrote, like I said, I hadn't had a chance to read this yet, but he wrote a nice letter in here in regards, to the family, Ed Piscor, because Rob Liefeld, it hit him hard too. I listened to his podcast after everything happened, and it was very unfortunate. But yeah, so there's that. So yeah, Switchblade, Switchblade Shorties by Ed Piscor. So happy to have this in my collection, man. This means a lot to me. So let's move on. DC. I mean, look at this. Just look at this. I it's a nice little stack, right? So let's just go ahead and let's just dive into these DC books. Like I said, same as the indie books. This is not everything that I got, but these are the highlights of. I feel like they are the highlights of what I did pick up. So with that being said, let's get this DC started. So I feel like this is one that should be a staple in every collection. I feel like Watchmen. It's a classic. So I picked this up. I had this in the actually the only format that I had this in previously was the DC Compact, which is a great, you know, cost effective way of having this, and anything else that they put out in DC Compact that's a great cost effective way. But I felt like I needed this in a larger format. And I know that there is the absolute editions and all of that, but this was good enough for me. I mean, the deluxe edition, the hardcover deluxe edition, I don't even know. I know these are constantly being printed and all of that, so I don't even know what edition this is or whatever. But yeah, Watchmen, it's got to be in your collection, right? I feel that way. Just saying. Now this is more recently. I had to pick up the Absolute Superman Red Sun. This book is beautiful, man. And of course, the slipcase. That's the back, the side. And you take this thing out, man, and you got the ribbon bookmark in there too. But look at that, man. This cover, this book is just good. Mark Miller, yeah, Millar. Uh, I can never. I don't know. I'm horrible. I know. I apologize. But yeah, I had to pick this up. One of the all time, in my opinion, one of the all time classics, classic elsewhere, else world Superman stories. So yeah, I felt like I had to own it. This is only the second absolute book that I own. The first one being right up, right up here, absolute Batman Hush. This is the second one. So yeah, if you haven't read this, definitely pick this up. It's a very different take on Superman. Him, instead of going to when he comes to Earth from Krypton, instead of him going to Smallville, Kansas, he ends up in Russia. Um, but at the core, Superman is still Superman. But he's definitely different in this, which is really cool. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who might not have, so I'll just leave it at that. But definitely go out and pick up this, whether it's Absolute Edition, whatever format that you can get it in, get it. It's definitely worth it. Now, we're going to stay on this Superman train, right? Because recently, I think last week, Superman by Philip Kennedy Johnson. This is pretty much the War World saga, but not in. It's not everything that's in here. There's definitely other stuff. I have not crazy, but I have not read the entirety of the War World saga. So this is definitely going to help me out with that. And yeah, Philip Kennedy Johnson. Uh, I started reading when I got back into comics. What 3 or 4 about 4 years ago now? About 4 years ago, I guess. Um, this had already passed. The War World saga. It was just ending because I remember seeing the new issues for the end of it coming out at the time. So I never really got on board with it, but I did. I did start to read some of it on the app. Never finished it because I wanted to wait for this because I was enjoying it so much. I'm like, I need it in a physical format, and I know that thick um, paperback came out about a year or two ago, I guess. The compendium, I think it's considered a compendium. That came out, and I was like, no, I wanted it, but I didn't want it because I wanted a hardcover. Anyway, long story short, finally got this, and I'm sure the War World saga will finish up whenever Volume 2 comes out. I'm guessing, but yeah, Superman by Philip Kennedy Johnson, Volume 1. Can't wait. Cannot wait. PKJ, man, he's been amazing with anything he touches with Superman, especially this, especially that. And we're gonna stay on the Superman train because guess what? Today, a day early, actually, because this is supposed to go. I got this delivered 2 days early. Today's Monday, so this don't come out until I guess technically Wednesday. But Organic Price Books, who just recently changed their name to Panel, I can't remember the name exactly. They are on point with their shipping. Let me just say that right now because I had already got this today. Today this came in the mail. Action Comics by Dan Jurgens. To me, to me, Dan Jurgens is my Superman writer. I grew up with him writing Superman, you know, in the 80s and into the 90s. So yeah, he is my Superman writer. And this, duh, right? Like I gotta I gotta have this in my collection. It only makes sense. The Triangle era, which he is not the only writer during the Triangle era, but he is definitely a main player, one of the main players in that. This, so this is gonna be good, man. I'm looking forward to this. Superman Action Comics by Dan Jurgens. Yeah, yeah. And just like the Superman by PKJ, I'm loving having these the old school bullet logos on these Omnis now because, yeah, it's just nice to see. So, I got this a little early. I feel special. Thank you, Organic Price Books. I wish I can. I'll get used to it. I know I will, but I'll get used to it. But I can't remember. It's Panel something Comics. Panel something is the new name of Organic Price Books. So yeah, shout out to them. Yeah, I feel special. I feel so special. Now this last book, it's Superman's involved, but he's not. It's not a Superman book. It's more of a DC book. This is definitely one of my favorite, not just Elseworld, but it's one of my favorite stories, period, in comics of all time. Deceased Omnibus, right? Tom Taylor, phenomenal job. I mean, I can't, I don't have words. I can't say and express what I really love about this book. It's just different. And in this book, you have so many different struggles, morality struggles on top of it, as opposed to like just what they're dealing with. And I mean, it's just it's awesome. And it's like, okay, so you have like the DC versus vampires, which is I think is fun, but this is a little bit different because you're dealing with a virus, right? Just taking you over, and you're like undead. You're in between being dead and alive. You're in that in between. So you're what, undead? But man, this is so fun. Tom Taylor, and I like how they put the Elseworld logo on here too. I thought they might have I thought they would have might have used a different cover because I don't remember this cover, or if this was made specifically. I really don't remember this cover on any of the books unless it was a variant somewhere along the lines through one of these stories. I don't know. Anyway, I like it. I just, yeah. As you can see, I have a little bit of a hefty Marvel haul. So, you know, again, I'll say this: not everything that I picked up, but to me, these are the highlights. So, with that being said, I wanted to make sure that I picked this up. Deadpool, my favorite Marvel character, Deadpool verse Deadpool core, and this is pretty much everything Deadpool core that was created. Right, the first 12 issues I think it was. Um, so yeah, this is like the origin of the whole Deadpool core, and with the success of the Marvel movie last year, the Deadpool Wolverine movie, if it wasn't for this book, we wouldn't have seen all those Deadpool characters in that movie, honestly. So yeah, this is like the origin of all of that. So I wish it was a hardcover though. Marvel, get yourself together, man, because people love hardcovers. There are people that prefer hardcovers. Deadpool versus Deadpool core, big trade. Yeah. So I had to pick that up. I felt that was essential since I am a Deadpool fan. Speaking of Deadpool, this was not I've something I've had for a while, but it kind of segues into something the next book. But this Deadpool uh, Bad Blood, the original graphic novel, and I got to show it off, man. If I have a chance to show it off, I'm going to show it off, and so that's what I'm going to do here. Is because I went to go meet Rob Liefeld again. He graciously signed it. Well, he graciously did the chisel signature because he thought it was really cool that I literally flew across the country that morning to go to LA, Golden Apple Comics, just for that signing and go straight back to the airport to fly back out the same day. So he gave me a little something for free. I got the signature, but he put that in there as well. So shout out to the GOAT, Rob Liefeld. And yeah, so I show this off because I want to move on to this because I had picked this up recently. Uh, this collects Deadpool Bad Blood and Batter Blood, which is the follow up. So this collects everything in one deluxe edition. And guess what? It's a hardcover. Makes sense. Uh, yeah. So Rob Liefeld's Deadpool magnum opus. And I know because Rob Liefeld told me himself that this was one of the funnest things that he had written. He enjoyed the most was Deadpool Bad Blood. So yeah, this is pretty fun, man. So I had Deadpool, man. I had to add that to my collection. So got two omnibuses right here. Now this acts Judgment Day. Now I know a lot of people don't think that this is the best event, and quite honestly, it's an event for me that I enjoyed a lot. I don't think it was the best, no. Um, I will never forget issue number 2 of the core story, Axe Judgment Day, issue number 2. I went through hell trying to get through that book. Eventually, I did. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know what it was about that issue. I still to this day, I don't know what it was about that issue number 2 that I just could not get past it. I could not. I don't know, man. I don't know. But the event overall was for me was fun. I enjoyed it a lot, and yeah, it to me it's also a little sentimental in a way because this is actually the first event that I have read since I came back to comics. Because if you're not aware, I was out of comics for a little bit, and when I came back, I was unfamiliar with a lot of things. So when I read this originally, as it was coming out, I was kind of out of the loop a little bit, so I felt lost, and maybe that's part of the reason why issue number 2 just put me through hell. um, I don't think it was an issue of me or thinking the book was bad necessarily. I think it was just more so me not quite grasping what was happening because I was still fairly new coming back, right? So unfamiliarity. So I have this now. So I'm gonna want to go back and read it and see if it treats me a little bit better next time. And this has all the tie-ins and everything. So yeah, I'll get the full story right here. So Axe Judgment Day. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm happy about this. I'm happy about this. And one thing I am definitely happy about is Cyclops right here. This era I could not stand that costume. I I loathe that costume. Um, yeah, horrible, horrible design. So glad that at least right now he's back. Well, they're pretty much all back to that yellow and blue classic look. So yeah, this had to go. This had to go big time. So Axe Judgment Day had to have it. Had to have it in my collection. And then this big old beast of a book. My gosh, it's like 1,500 pages, I think it is. But X Factor, the original X Men, Volume 1. Now, Volume 2 has been solicited already, I think, for either January, I want to say the end of January. I'm pretty positive it's the end of January where Volume 2 is solicited. And yes, I will get it. But this is just classic. Now, I'll be honest, growing up, when I was younger, I liked X Factor, but I did not read it a whole tremendously a lot. Even though I enjoyed it because being younger and you're not a grown adult, you don't have your own job, so you kind of can kind of get what you get. And X Men back in those days, X Men, Spider Man, all that Batman, especially Batman and Superman, those for me were higher on the priority list. So I had I had experience with X Factor, and it just wasn't a whole lot, but I did enjoy X Factor a lot. So anyway, that's a whole little thing. Um, so this, I'm glad to have this. I do want to get the X Factor. There's another one, Peter David. Um, I do want to go get those omnibuses as well, possibly. I don't know. I got to think about shelf space. So, yeah. So this, I'm happy to have this. This is gonna take a good hot couple of minutes to get through. I mean, that's a big, by far the biggest Marvel omnibus that I have. But yeah, it's a good one though, right? It's a good one. That's my most recent highlighted collected editions and omnibuses that I picked up within the last couple of months. First of all, I want to show off my sketchbook that you might remember that I got for Heroes Con. So I have some sketches in here, but one of the stickers I got, I put on a cover. Kayfabe Forever, Ed Piskor. Shout out. Ed Piskor for life. But yeah, man. So there's definitely more omnibuses and stuff that I have planned to purchase, like pre-order mostly. That's it's my big thing, man. I have to pre-order stuff that comes. I can't wait, especially if it's an omnibus. I have to pre-order it. Like I cannot wait until when it comes out, then purchase it. And when I say pre-order it, I pre-order it way in advance, just because I want to be sure. Because I back in I don't know April, March, April, somewhere around that time frame, I pre-ordered a bunch of omnibuses. A couple of them that you just seen, the Action Comics, the Superman, a bunch of those I pre-ordered back then, and I still have stuff that I pre-ordered back then that is coming out for the rest of August through September. So pretty soon I'm going to start pre-ordering some stuff from October going forward. Because yeah, that's just me. That's just what works best for me, and something I prefer, honestly, just to have it know, just to know that I have it already taken care of and out of the way. So yeah, that's just me. But anyway, all that being said, I don't know where that came from. But yeah, so I'm curious, guys. Let me know what you guys think about what I picked up. And also, are any of you going down the same route that I'm going as far as, and for me, it's been a very slow process, and I really need to gain, I really need to gain discipline. Yeah. So anyway, anybody that's doing the same thing I am is transitioning into having more collected editions, omnibuses, deluxe, whatever format, but collected. Anybody that's transitioning into that, how's your process going? And has it been easy for you? Has it been difficult like it has for me? Um, just let me know. Let me know. Let me know if you guys picked up anything recently also, because I always say it, man. I love seeing. This is one of my favorite types of videos. Is a haul video, and I love watching other people's haul videos. So I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. And it's one of my favorite types of videos to do. So yeah, yeah. So let me know. Let me know, guys, what you've been picking up. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one.